Saturday morning. What's good? Let me see my garden again since I'm up walking around. Got my pup right there. What's good, Cash? Cash Patel. And it's time to get my okra again. It's time to cut some of them. See right there? See right there? Mm-hmm. And that big one might be almost too big. Yeah, here we go. I'm back. It's me and I'm back. Let me get in the sun. I can't see me. Let me turn around this way, let the sun face me so I can see myself. What's good? Yeah. What's up? What you want? What you want? Yeah. Let's talk about it. I don't even know where to start. I really haven't been in the mood for making videos, expressing my thoughts, or just, like I like to just say what it is, get it off my chest, and it's gone. But for somebody who, thinks logically, and I have foresight, and I want to use that to help my people in my community, awareness. Like a lot of people, they just do their thing. They're not aware of their surroundings. They do not know what's going on. They don't care, and that's fine. For people who don't have that kind of foresight, and they just work their 9 to 5 and do their thing, that's fine. Everybody doesn't have the ability to want to make change, change things for the better. Everybody's not like that. Some of us are programmed to guard our community, like a fire watch or an ambassador or statesman, government officials, whatever, tribal leaders. We have the desire to govern or direct or share information, to your people. That's the least you could do. Help out where you can. It's always been my philosophy. Help out where you can. I enjoyed traveling, with the military. It wasn't that easy. Because when they saw me, it felt like, yeah, he could work. It seemed like that's what they were saying when they saw me. A little country boy from the South, we gonna work. We gonna get our money's worth. It is what it is. I don't give a shit. I get my power from the sun and a little bit of food, not the other way around. I do not give a damn about spending some energy, because the more energy I spend, the more energy I get. Oh, these are four-lug Mustang tires. I'm trying to sell them, so anybody see this video, contact me. Let me know what's up. I'm in Albany, Georgia. Nigga, I ain't hard to find, but and they got good threads on them too. Good tires, good threads, good tires. They're not wore out anywhere. They was only on the car for about a year before a tree got it. As you can see, it was a convertible, a nice smash. so, well, I done lost my train of thought, but it's getting old. I mean, the manipulation, the emotions. I mean, everybody's pointing the finger. But, we had the chance to try to fix this shit or right the ship a long time ago, is my point. When I started making little comments damn near 20 years ago, as soon as we got the cell phone and the computers and started making comments, it was designed to make people pause and think. Not just go work a 9 to 5 and just and not pay attention, to the little things that we could do. A little conversation, little information go a long way in the next generation. See, you got to think about the next generation. You're thinking about yourself. You're thinking selfishly. You know, all these women and the father's not in the house. Now you can blame the father, you can blame the mother. I don't care. They divided. Who's at fault? The man that left his family, 2 or 3 kids, or the man that got kicked out and couldn't stay. See, it's kind of irrelevant when it comes down to the community and the communities staying together and working to build something. You separate it, and you can blame one or the other all day. That's your problem. But how do you fix it? See, intelligent people, find a solution for problems. Though they don't ignore it, they find a solution for problems. You can sit on your knees all day in front of a plate of food and pray all you want. And I ain't never seen an invisible hand feed nobody. You have to get off your ass after you finish praying or whatever you want to do with intentions and go get it done. This idea, I'm got to, who bewitched you and made you think that you were so special that somebody was going to bring you something or feed you, and you got 2 good legs and 2 good hands and a consciousness to get it done, but you won't tune in. That's bewitching if I ever saw anything like that. And then you get frustrated and you blame any and everybody that you can. You spend more time trying to blame than you do trying to fix. It's been my point for almost 20 years. I'm trying to get through to you people. It's almost too late. It ain't too late, but we're late in the game because now everybody want to blame the people that has no control or no power. They can always blame Keisha and little man. Well, they miss her. I'm tired of them. That's just propaganda. But nobody has no solutions, no answers to fix a damn thing. That's how you know who your enemy is. It's always been a setup. Motherfuckers been robbing our country, because I'm indigenous, been robbing our country forever, but then point the finger at a woman, and a child, high school dropout, or if she finished high school or even college, she got a baby or 2, okay, and the government officials, they put out that propaganda. It's government. And all these motherfuckers who think they control consciousness and have you attacking your own motherfucking people. Your own people, going back and forth. I was watching a lady yesterday, said, well, black men, don't, you don't respect your mother, your sister. No. My mother and sister are fine. What we don't respect is this keeping this gender war going instead of trying to settle this thing and fix it so we can move forward. Now, as far as I'm concerned, 30 years ago, when I was over there in support, whatever I was supporting, overseas, I was the man, the boots on the ground, the man on deck. That was an opportunity for you people back here in the rear to make things better for our next generation. And I don't see that y'all done that. I don't see that y'all done that. You got people walking around Walmart with a damn 45 on their hip. We back in the Wild Wild West. We went the wrong direction. What was all my support, my hard work, and my efforts for if you people couldn't even be good ambassadors to protect my children's legacy? At least we could have got overran a long time ago. You're selfish. You don't think about other people and what we sacrifice to keep this country going. And then you give it all, and black women be the main one up there trying to give it all to this man. And they forget about they erase our hard work and our efforts to protect and to serve our country, because this is my country. I am indigenous. I'm not, they didn't come from Africa and to build America and leave Africa a jungle. Didn't do that. No, didn't do that. So, so I have to ask, you pay attention to your own shit. If your house is burning and you over next door is always trying to put somebody else's house out or to blame, but that's you got to wake up and recognize, hey, we gotta support our own communities. We gotta stop all this, angry woman type shit and get on the internet, because men are getting tired of it. That's why men are talking back. They're speaking back. Now it feels like an attack. Everybody that's been getting away with shit, when people try to tell you the truth and look at it from a different opinion, everybody get offended and feel like they being attacked. And sometimes you just got to look in the mirror and say, you know what? In order to move forward, let's just try something different. In order to move forward, let's try. We are not a generalized people. You can't just come on the internet, social media, and just say black men, because we don't know who you talk about. When you say black men, that's worldwide. It's black men worldwide. And so who are you trying to target with? But we know most of the time they always, the black man in America is the problem, But we need receipts. So in other words, when y'all women come on social media and just want to generalize and say, want everybody to hate black men, we're going to need some receipts. We want you to talk about your experiences, who you was dating, what was his occupation. We need timeline, we need receipts, and so we can understand and come up with a solution to some of these problems. I don't care if you make mistakes. I care if you are not going to take responsibility or accountability for your mistakes, and then you tell the world that all men are fucked up. It's kind of like being in a foreign country, fighting for your country, and then you have people over there undermining your efforts and saying stuff, putting you in extra jeopardy, because they say that black men are dangerous. Black men ain't shit. And then you wonder why a single black man or two get jumped in an alley, overseas somewhere, or get attacked because people fear that you might do something to them, so they get to jump on you. This is propaganda, but this propaganda gains some momentum because it justifies action. When people want to take action, well, we got to protect ourselves against, So that's why this is the propaganda. So black women are the leaders of propaganda against the black man because of dating. But they can't stop. We got some that get on there and they seen enough. They saying, okay, we need to change this. But then, just like yesterday, the day before, I seen one come right back and just, you don't like your mama, you don't like your sister. No. We don't like you because you're negative. You gave birth to 3 kids from 3 different baby daddies. One of them is decent. The other 2 is little demon spawns. And then y'all wonder why it's so much bad and evil in the world, because you gave birth to these little demons. But you look in the mirror, you think you're a queen. You know you're not a queen. Not like that. You done taught this little motherfucker how to kill and steal before he was 12 years old. So if we want to make it better, we're going to have to get some fathers in the house, and we're going to have to get some submissive women, and we're going to have to build like that. And if the women don't want, to be a part of the community, then let them go. But everybody that comes on the social media and just generalize stuff, we need to force them into showing us receipts. We need receipts. Well, you a black man ain't shit. Okay, describe the last man that you dated. What's his name? If you ain't gonna put his name out there and let everybody know, then he's just gonna go out there and keep doing evil. If that's the point. But you don't want to say his name because you don't want him to tell the true part of the story. Give him a chance, to rebut what you're saying. Give him a chance to explain. You ain't gonna do that because it's all made up. You are the leading people in propaganda against what we could do to build our communities. It's something in you that's keeping us down, separated as a people. And that's all it is. When you come down to it, you ought to be able to see it by now. We got a lot of sellouts in the communities, a lot of backstabbers, a lot of people that look like us, that have kept us where we at, not building, not taking advantage of our little communities and situation and building and togetherness and all that. And that's all it is. It's as simple as that. Once you can't use dating and mating, as a generalized term to keep us separated and divided anymore. We coming together anyway. The ones who want to come together, the ones who want to keep this little gender war going, we gonna delineate from you too. We gonna leave you over there babbling and complaining while we gonna get this thing going, and we're gonna start to build again. And you're gonna be outside the community, with three kids from different daddies, blaming each one of them. Now at least one of them probably wanted to stay with you, but then I'm not gonna really get into that because, you can blame either side, whether he got kicked out or you forced him out. It really don't matter at that point, because these are the ones that come on social media and keep this gender war type stuff going. The ones that's angry, the ones that's doing their thing, they probably even recognize that it's happening. But since I'm retired and I don't have anything else to do but think about what's going on with the communities and how, if you care about somebody, you're gonna try to see what you can do to make it better. If you care about your community, you're gonna try to see what you can do to make it better. If you care about anything, you're gonna look into it. If you can fix it, you fix it. If you can't, if it don't want to be fixed, you gotta leave it alone. But we can't have this propaganda war that goes unchecked on social media, that always blaming, it always one-sided and not coming up with a solution to fix a damn thing. That's my issue with it. Intelligent people solve their own problems. Emotional people, the victims, just complain without any idea of fixing anything. They don't want to fix nothing. They can't come up with any solutions, so they just point the finger. And they won't take accountability or responsibility for their own actions. They just want to blame. And everybody wants to blame the hard-working, victimized, monopolized black man like myself that's just doing the best he can and trying to help out a little bit. All I can do is say, hey, if we put our heads together, we ought to be able to come up with something. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed, but damn, this is what we're gonna do. Gonna keep on complaining and keep this little gender shit going on, and we're gonna start investing in ourselves. I don't know. I mean, that's up to y'all. I'll be 61 this year, so I've already been out there and did this and that in the third. But for the next generation, y'all gonna let them keep on posting you up, backing you down in the paint, and dunking on you? Ooh, I'm stupid.